What's up everyone, it's Tim from TimPlaysAGame here with tips and tricks for Salmon Run in Splatoon 2 for the Nintendo Switch. Today we'll talk about some basic preparations you can make before a Salmon Run match and strategies that can save you during Salmon Run to help increase your team's chances of winning. Let's begin with tip number 1. Focus on taking out Salmonids. It may be tempting to focus on gathering golden eggs, which is the main objective of Salmon Run. As you increase in rank, you're going to see more Salmonids and boss Salmonids try to take out your team. Your focus should be on making sure the Salmonids don't get too far inland to the point where they are swarming your team. You may have to stop gathering golden eggs for a few seconds to take out the constant onslaught of Salmonids. Don't ignore the threat the Salmonids pose, or else you may find yourself swarmed by a bunch of lazy-eyed fish creatures. Tip number 2. Keep an eye on the tides. At the beginning of each wave, you'll notice at the bottom of the screen a shape that resembles waves of the ocean. The height of this shape determines whether the tide for this wave is high, regular, or low tide. If the tide is low, you will have to move further down the coast to attack the Salmonids. If the tide is high, you will have less room to move around and have to focus heavily on keeping the Salmonids at bay. The height of the tides may change between waves, so be aware of this change as it happens. Tip number 3. Let your teammates know where there are boss Salmonids. The boss Salmonids are the most difficult and require multiple teammates to take out. At the beginning of the match, as soon as you see a boss Salmonid, hit up on the left control buttons to shout out "this way." This will let your teammates know to head to your location. Boss Salmonids bring many regular Salmonids and can swarm you and your team if left unchecked. As previously stated, taking out Salmonids should be a priority in Salmon Run. Tip number 4. Teamwork. As you should know by now, Splatoon 2 is a team game in every type of match, and Salmon Run is no different. You will need to attack boss Salmonids and the other smaller Salmonids they bring with them in groups of at least 2 if you want to avoid getting swarmed. Help your teammates if you see them by themselves beginning to get swarmed or having a hard time defeating a boss Salmonid. If you see that a teammate has been splatted by Salmonids, make it a priority to revive them as soon as possible. Remember, if you and your teammates are all splatted, you will all fail at Salmon Run. Tip number 5. Once you meet your quota, stay alive. As I already said, in Salmon Run, if everyone gets splatted, then the game is over. When you have collected enough golden eggs to meet your quota for the wave, you need to shift focus on defeating Salmonids and keeping your teammates alive. You can still gather golden eggs to improve your score, but be careful that you aren't abandoning your teammates to put golden eggs in the basket. As long as at least one player is not splatted at the end of the wave, you will succeed. Tip number 6. If you get splatted, go towards your teammates. You're going to need to get revived by a teammate should you get splatted by Salmonids or fall in the water. While in the life ring, you can move around, so take advantage of this and move towards your teammates so they can revive you. They may be too busy dealing with Salmonids, so press up on the left control buttons to shout out "help" to get their attention. While in the life ring, you will not be able to crawl up walls. Take this into consideration when trying to find a way back to your teammates to be revived. Tip number 7. Read the job manual. You may have been so excited to jump into Salmon Run that you didn't think to read the job manual. The good thing about this job manual is that it explains the different types of Salmonids and boss Salmonids. It also explains some interesting tactics about how to defeat boss Salmonids. For example, the Maws can be defeated by throwing an ink bomb into the glowing circle right before they rise up to attack. You can also shoot the Drizzler's missiles back at them to take them down in one shot. The job manual goes into detail about known occurrences such as grillers. Knowledge is power, and this manual could be your most powerful weapon in Salmon Run. Tip number 8. Test the weapons beforehand. You will notice that every Salmon Run session will have you using one of 4 random weapons, different for each wave. It would be a good idea to test these 4 weapons at ammo nights if you can. This will help you get the hang of each of them before you have to have the added pressure of being swarmed by Salmonids. You may even want to try these weapons out in Turf War to further get the hang of them. Remember that no matter which main weapon you get in Salmon Run, the sub-weapon will always be a Splat Bomb, and your special weapon will be chosen at random between Inkjet, Stingray, Splashdown, and Splash Bomb Launcher. Tip number 9. Don't forget about your special weapon. While we're talking about special weapons, let's focus on them for a second. While playing Salmon Run, you may be so caught up in all the action that you forget about using your special weapon from time to time. You get one chosen at random between Inkjet, Stingray, Splashdown, and Splash Bomb Launcher. You get to use this special weapon only twice, so make sure you use them effectively. For example, the Stingray can pierce through armor, such as certain boss Salmonids like the Drizzler and the Flyfish. Splat Bomb Launcher is useful in taking out Flyfish easily. Inkjet is really useful in seeking out and reviving teammates that may be too far away, and the Splashdown is especially helpful if you find yourself backed into a corner. Special weapons are your secret weapon when taking out Salmonids, so make sure to use them wisely. Tip number 10. Know that it's not likely you will win. This is something I want you to keep in the back of your mind, but know that in Salmon Run, the odds are against you winning. As you get closer to the rank of professional, you will notice that the quotas for collecting golden eggs become higher, and the number of Salmonids you have to face gets larger. You also don't get any abilities like you do in other modes, and have to use one of 4 random weapons in 3 waves. It is possible to win Salmon Run, but the odds will always be stacked against you. Do your best, help your teammates, and stay focused on meeting the golden egg quota and surviving, and you will do just fine. This has been Tips and Tricks for Salmon Run in Splatoon 2. If you have any tips of your own that I may have missed, please let me know in the comments section below. Make sure you subscribe to Tim Plays a Game and stay tuned for more tips and tricks videos. I want to thank you all for watching. This is Tim from Tim Plays a Game signing off, and good night.